Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. So today I decided to film outside, get some breeze, so you guys are going to hear some hustle and bustle of Monrovia. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I was kind of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And then that voice said, do it, girl. Do what you want. Talk about what you want to talk about. It's your channel. If somebody doesn't like it, they can start their own. So I'm going to be talking about the fact that I've had 4 house help, 4 maids, or 4 house girls. Those words could be used interchangeably on this video because house girl is the word that we grew up using a lot, but some people say house help, some people say maid, some people even say nurse. So all of those terms could be used interchangeably. So when you do these type of videos, people that don't live in Liberia, and maybe people that live in Liberia, will say, well, why you need house help when you're in America? Do you have house help? Yes, sometimes I did have my house cleaned periodically. I paid someone. Sometimes they came every 2 weeks. Sometimes they came once a month. Sometimes I would go months without having them do it because I could take care of the home. And then sometimes I would bring them back and have them clean my house. That was my business. That was my pocketbook, just as it is in Liberia. So someone might say, but why you need house help? Because I do. And when I employ someone, I'm helping their family. So I do. If the question is why, because I want to. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the house help. I have decided to give the house help Russian names, so not to expose the identity of the people that have worked for me. So I have had 4. Let's start with the first one and let's talk about the issues. And before I start, I want to talk about, I had some well-meaning comments under the post about the fact that I'm going to do this video. The first person said, when you do this, is there a contract in place? And also people expect a certain amount of cleaning and only giving the people a short amount of time. Is that the case? And I can say in all of these instances that was not the case. And I think a lot of times when people make those kind of comments, I can tell that they haven't been in Liberia in a long time, because for the most part we don't sign contracts. We don't sign contracts. Number 2, you have all day to clean because you're left alone in the house. You don't clock in at 8 o'clock and leave at 10, or clock in at 9 and leave at 11. These are full-time employees that we're hiring. Then another person commented and said that maybe they're moving on to greener pastures. It didn't work out. You should be happy if they're starting businesses. And I'm all for people starting businesses, moving on to greener pastures and all of that good stuff. But in most of these cases, that wasn't the case. There are some issues that are specific to Liberia that I'm going to get into. So we're going to start with the first house help, and I'm going to call her Anastasia. So Anastasia was recommended by someone that my husband knew. And so she was hired in October of 2020. She was already hired before I came to Liberia. So I met her when I got to Liberia. I woke up the next day, Anastasia was there. She had reported to work. She works Monday through Saturday, which is the common schedule here in Liberia. People in Liberia work 6 days a week, which in America we complain about a 5-day work schedule. They work 6 days a week, and that is just how it is in Liberia. Anyway, Anastasia was hired before I even came to Liberia. When I first met Anastasia, she kind of like the boss lady, the boss man wife is here, the boss lady is from America, and I could tell there was some kind of fear, kind of intimidation when she met me. But I kind of wanted to let her know that I wasn't, I kind of wanted to let her know that I wasn't that type of person. I'm easygoing, I'm easy to get along with. So like even the first day that she served me breakfast, she put the breakfast on the table and kind of waited, and then when she saw that I was ready for tea, she wanted to pour my hot water. The hot water was already on the table in a flask, but she wanted to pour it, and I was like, I got it, I can do things for myself. And so I just kind of wanted her to know that I'm a normal person. There's no reason to act like you serving royalty or anything like that. So, but then there are people in Liberia who were like, don't let her don't be treating her too good, or don't let her get used to that or stuff like that, because she'll take advantage of it, which I can see both sides, because she kind of did. She kind of mistook my niceness for like I can do whatever I want to do, because this woman doesn't talk. So we'll get into some things that I started noticing. One of the things that I started noticing with Anastasia was that I would be talking to her and be like, Anastasia, when you get a chance, can you do so and so? She would walk right by me as I'm talking to her, and I'm like, did you hear me? Yeah, I heard you. And I'm like, but I acknowledge that you heard me. How do I know that you heard me? Oh, I said yeah, whatever, and she didn't say yes. So I would be talking to Anastasia. Anastasia would be walking by me as it's saying Liberia, like June passing by July. So that was the first thing I noticed, and I said, well, when I'm talking to you, I address you. Please respond to me. Let me know that you hear me. Okay. So that was one of the things that I started noticing. So the kindness that I was showing was taken for basically stupidity. Like, I don't gotta talk to this woman, you know, she's not scary, so I don't have to talk to her. I don't have to respect her as much as I would another person who cussing me, which I would never cuss somebody, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So another thing that Anastasia did was this. So we have a washer and dryer combo. So the people that work for us don't have to do laundry. They don't have to, like, not on, like a lot of people that work for other people, on Saturday they spend a whole day, or during the week they spend a lot of time washing clothes. But you don't have to do that with us. But I do have some delicates, like maybe this blouse I wouldn't want to put in the washer. I would give to you to hand wash. So anyway, I do my own laundry. I do the laundry for the house for me and my husband Sienna. I load it, I do my own laundry. So, but I would separate. So one day I was doing laundry and I was separating the clothes. I had some delicates and I gave it to Anastasia. I said, when you get a chance, please wash this. She looked at me dead in the eye and she said, it will not happen today. And I turned and looked at her. So even if she was doing something, or even if it wasn't possible, that's not how you answer your boss, or that's not how you talk to your boss. So at this point, she was taking me to be anybody. So I said, excuse me, and she said, oh no, what I was saying is, you know, my hand hurting, so I will not do it today. So I just walked off. I didn't say anything because I didn't even know how to take that. So I just put the clothes down and I left, and she ended up washing the clothes, hanging it up, bringing it back in. But those were some of the things that I noticed. So I hate to almost buy into that theory, but sometimes the worse you are, the more you're respected. But I decided within myself, I'm not gonna let Liberia change me into a person that has to abuse people, cuss people, treat them bad in order to get respect. If you can't respect me, can't respect my kindness, then you just can't work for me. But I still didn't let Anastasia go. Another thing that she did was, my husband cannot eat pepper at all. Like, if you can't cook, when you cook, don't put pepper in the food at all. Don't put a little bit. Don't say you're gonna put small in here and he won't notice, or I usually cook with this amount and I'll just reduce it. We have told you, we have asked you, do not put pepper in his food. So when we first told Anastasia that, she was not putting pepper in the food. Slowly but surely, by the end of the week, she was putting 1 pot, 2 pot, after we have explicitly expressed that this man cannot eat pepper. So that was another thing that we had to address. Just little things, like she basically was gonna do things her way, but that we still kept her. Nothing was wrong. It was just things that needed to be corrected along the way. Straw that broke the camel's back with Anastasia was that she asked me for a Saturday off because she had a wedding. Of course, it was her sister's wedding. I said, of course, her sister was having I said, what kind of wedding is it? Because me, I like to talk to people. She said, oh, that's her traditional wedding. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, have this Saturday off. Don't worry about it. She asked if she could come in and leave early. I said, just take the whole Saturday off. Go have fun at your sister's wedding. What do we really need to do on Saturday? You leave early anyway. Like, we try to let you go at least by 1 or 2 on Saturday. So don't even come in the morning, try to rush and go. Have that Saturday off. That was fine. So after that Saturday for the traditional wedding, she had off. She came back to work. Everything was fine. One day I was in the kitchen and she was outside. She was cooking. I heard her on the phone with someone saying that the white wedding was going to be happening on so-and-so date. So I just kept that in my mind because I said, okay, she'll probably be asking me for that day off too, which I will give it to her. What's a Saturday off to give to somebody for their family wedding? So she was on the phone with a person saying she got so much to do. It's like the whole wedding on her head, and people acting like she getting married leading up to the wedding and stuff. So she's just been so busy. The wedding would be on so-and-so date. I just kept that in my head. I said, okay, so she'll probably need some time off. So the Monday before that wedding, Anastasia comes to work. I don't see her yet. The driver who is in cahoots with Anastasia comes to me and is like, Ma, Anastasia is sick. I said, what wrong with Anastasia? She trembling. So I see Anastasia. I'm a nurse. Anastasia's like, ah. So I said, just go home. If you're sick, no need for you to be here. So the wedding is that Saturday. So that was the Monday. Anastasia doesn't come to work Tuesday. She doesn't come to work Wednesday. She doesn't come to work Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And neither of those days does she call. Those of us who are nurses know that if you have to be off for a whole week, you're very ill. You're very ill. But you can at least call your boss and say, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm sick. She doesn't call. She doesn't show up. Nothing. And mind you, I already know the wedding is on that Saturday. So she doesn't don't know anything about Anastasia. Monday morning, Anastasia is miraculously at 100%. She knocks on the gate, the security lets her in. She starts sweeping, Jesus, my only friend, he has delivered me. Anastasia is singing, she's lively, she's doing everything that she needs to do around in the yard. And I'm like, wait a minute, if you have to be off for 1 week, that means you were really sick. You don't just are at 100% on Monday. She needed time off for the wedding, and instead of asking me, because maybe she thought that she'd already asked for time off for the traditional wedding, she just made up a story and took the week off to do what she needed to do. So what I did was I politely paid Anastasia for her time and thanked her for her services, because what the work ethic that I know and I have is that you let people know that you're not going to show up. And some people will say, well, you could have trained her, you could have told her. That's for someone else to train. At that, there were too many things leading up to that. The fact that she wouldn't follow instructions, the fact that she was giving me hot cheek in the hot sun, and the fact that she just was doing what she wanted to do, coupled with the fact that you can take a week off without calling or letting me know that you aren't showing up, and then show up on Monday like nothing happened, and me knowing that it was for an event. I just paid her and thanked her for her services. So that is the story of Anastasia. Okay, so we're going to talk about this second girl. The second girl, we're going to call her Anka. We're just giving random Russian names or any kind of name. Anka. So Anka came, and she was young, and bless her heart, she was not the smartest tool in the tool shed or in the toolbox, but she was a sweet girl. Anka came from a job that she was making half of what I was going to pay her. And for 1 month, the first month of working that job, they made her work 7 days a week for 1 month. And she was making half of what I was going to pay her. So after she got her first paycheck, or her first check, her money, she left. And then someone recommended her to me, and that's how I got Anka. She was a sweet girl. And she was very grateful for the fact that she was going to be making more than what she was making with this other person and working less. So everything was going fine with Anka. The only thing about Anka, she was not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but I still was willing to work with her because she was sweet. So when Anka started, not only did I double her pay, but I also was paying for her transportation. How did that go? Certain things just were not like, okay, so whenever I hire someone, the first girl, I couldn't train her because she was hired before I got there. So this girl, hold on, let me get my water. Okay, so because I was able to hire her, I wanted to train her, to train her on how I wanted things done. That way I can't get mad at her because I showed her, I can't get mad and say, why are you doing it this way? And she never was shown, and she can't do it the wrong way because I showed her the right way to do it. So anyway, I took like 2 or 3 days whenever she came, like 7 in the morning, kind of showed her what we wanted done. But an example of how Paulina wasn't that bright, and I'm gonna say that because it was the truth, was the stainless steel cleaner. And Paulina is a high school graduate. She could read and write. The stainless steel cleaner, I said that you use it to clean the microwave, you're going to use it to clean the refrigerator, you're going to use it to clean the stove, because it only goes with these items. And on the canister, there's a picture of a stove, of a refrigerator, of metal items that you can use on the canister. So I said, so this can would never have to leave the kitchen. And this is the wood cleaner. I want you to use this on the wood. This is the glass cleaner. So we went over all those items. So one day, after training her for about 2 to 3 days, working with her, and she even told the person that recommended her, like, the boss lady is too nice. She take time and she showed me everything. She too nice. Thank you for this job. She was so grateful. So anyway, and then I was also giving Paulina transportation because she was a sweet young girl. Transportation, every now and then I'll give her a scratch card. So one day I came home while she was cleaning, or I was home. I happened to be home while she was cleaning, and the stainless steel cleaner was out of the kitchen. And I'm looking around the living room. There's no reason for the stainless steel cleaner to be out of the kitchen. And I said, what are you using this on? She said, oh, cleaning glass. And I said, but I told you that this is for the steel. Why is it out of the kitchen? She just looking at me. And I said, but it doesn't say glass cleaner. I said, go in there and then take this back and bring the glass cleaner. She comes back out with spray starch. And I said, what does this say? And she says, starch. And I said, but then why would you bring this if it doesn't say glass cleaner? She goes back in there, then she comes back and she brings the glass cleaner. And I said, what is it? Can you read it? And she read it, and it says glass, and she said glass cleaner. So she could read and write, and so I didn't understand those types of mistakes. I just didn't understand those type of mistakes, and those kind of miscommunications are very common in Liberia. Another example of how she didn't get things was, you know what? I would just leave that one before people say that I'm elitist. I would just leave that one. But she didn't get a lot of things, but I was still willing to work with her because she was a sweet girl. The problem started arriving when we would wake up and Paulina just would not come to work, and I would call her and say, Paulina, are you not coming? And she said, oh, my stomach hurting or my back hurting. And I would say, next time, just let me know. It would happen a month later, 2 months later, it would happen again. Paulina, you're not coming to work? No, I'm not feeling well, so I will not be there. So I said, okay. I said, Paulina, you have to let me know when you're not coming. So anyway, and then I started noticing her attitude started changing. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I said, Paulina, is everything all right with you? Everything is okay. I just started noticing there was an attitude. So I decided to start looking for someone else. So I just told her that we would have 2 girls. So I was gonna try out a new girl while Paulina was still there, in order to, did I call her Anka? Anyway, we're calling her Paulina. So I decided to try out a new girl while Paulina was still there, and see whether it was worth just getting rid of Paulina. So anyway, Paulina started training the new girl, and I was just gonna see what I thought. So as I'm training the new girl, I'm still not gonna get rid of Paulina because I still want to keep her. So I was gonna figure out how to keep this new girl if I liked her, and Paulina. Maybe one will cook, one will clean, vice versa. I don't know how it's gonna work. So anyway, as the first week that Paulina starts training the new girl, that Saturday, that Friday night I come home, I see Paulina walking home. So I wave to her. I see the new girl walking home, or walking to the road to catch. I wave to both of them. She sees me. The next morning, the new girl shows up on Saturday. I'm like, where is Paulina? She said, oh, I don't know. So I called Paulina. I said, what's going on? Oh, my back hurting, I will not be there. So I said, but why wouldn't you tell me after we've gone through this 2 or 3 times? She said, oh, but I told everybody in here. I told the security, I told the other new girl that was there. I said, but so you can tell them and you can't tell me? So luckily for me, that was the day before was the end of the month. She had gotten paid. I said, you know what, Paulina, thank you, yeah, because it's like I asked you, if you're not going to show up to work, just let me know. So I said, thank you, yeah, you got paid, that's it, thank you for your services. So that was the second girl. So kind of basically the same thing, but this girl, at least I attempted to let her know several times that if you're just not going to show up, just let me know. But she continued to do the same thing. So that was the second girl. So we're going to go on to the third girl. Now I need to think of a new Russian name. I think I interchangeably called this one Anka and Paulina. So that was, we have number 1 was Anastasia. Number 2 was Anka, maybe / Paulina. So I'm going to think of another name for the third girl and let you know what happened. Okay, so the third girl is the one that Paulina / Anka, I think, trained. So we're going to call her Galina. So Galina was the third girl. Galina had a little lying problem and a little stealing problem. So Galina started and she wanted me to think that she was fully married. And I think you should just be yourself. So I'd be like, Galina, what do you do for fun? Oh, that's just me and my church business. Me and my church business. So I said, oh, that's good, Galina. And then we even had people, when we had our stuff shipped from America, we had the truck delivered to the house, and my husband just pulled boys off the street to help unload. She said, I need to watch these people because the people in Liberia can steal. Not knowing Galina can steal too. So anyway, Galina was working for me. And she had me under the impression that she was a decent person. So she was working for me, and when the stuff came, our container came, I had a lot of, what I did was I shipped even my old clothes that I wanted to give to the Salvation Army in America. I said, you know what, it would be more beneficial for people in Liberia than someone in America. Let me ship it to my own country. So I had clothes in good condition, some never worn, and a lot of baby clothes, a lot of my son's clothes, because you know, children, they wear clothes and they grow out of it, and sometimes the clothes are brand new and sometimes they never even wear it. So a lot of the stuff was new. So I gave Galina a lot of clothes for her children. She had 3 boys, a lot of clothes from me that I didn't use anymore. I gave it to her. But because of that, we had things all around the house. So I would look through my box of clothes, give her stuff. But so one day I woke up and there was a particular dress that I was missing. I did not give it to Galina. This dress still had the tag on it. And I feel like it was God just wanting to reveal her character to me, because I was so thinking that this person was trustworthy, and it was like God was warning me, she's not as trustworthy as she seems. So there was a dress. Out of all the clothes that I had, this one dress, I've had this dress for over 3 years, have never worn it, still have not worn it, but this dress was on my mind. I woke up with this dress on my mind. I woke up and started searching everywhere for this dress. Could not find the dress. I said, wait a minute, where is this dress? I mean, I'm looking. So finally, I went to Galina and said, I found the website where this dress would be on, screenshot it and showed it to her. Took a screenshot, or screenshot it if it can be a verb, and showed it to Galina and said, do you have this dress, or do you know where this dress is? She looked at it, she was like looking at it kind of confused. I don't know. I said, I can't find this dress and I'm looking for this dress. I said, would you have, taken it by mistake or what? Just in my mind, I already knew that she took the dress, but I'm just playing now. She said, let me call my sister. Let me call my sister right now and see whether she can go to the house and see whether that dress among the things. There's no reason. You can't take a dress by mistake. But I'm still acting like I'm the airhead. Like maybe you took it by mistake. Sure enough, her smart self, I come home later, she's like, yeah, the dress, yeah. I know how I just took it. So what Galina did was she helped herself with my items. Since I'm this stupid woman that just giving things away, I got too much, let me just take this. I said, how you took it by mistake? You know how you are giving me things. I saw the pile. I said, maybe in a box there, maybe that's something that she won't give me. I know. So I just went and took it. So I just looked at her. At this point, I'm on the third person. I said, I really don't know what to do yet. Let me sleep on it. Against my better judgment, I kept Galina. But Galina had, like I said, she had a little lying problem. So it was just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. But my daughter liked her, and I just did not want to have another person in my home. Finally, Galina, I believe, found another job, and she quit on her own. She lied about why she even quit, and she didn't even have to do that, but she lied about why she even quit, and she left on her own, which I was happy about that. It didn't make me sad. I'm okay with the fact that Galina and her little lying problem left. So now we are on the fourth girl. The fourth girl currently works for me, so I will not do her the disservice of discussing her. But the fourth girl, I don't want to praise wet chicken before going to mud, but she may be my person. She may be my person. I may have finally found my person. She's not perfect. She's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I can work with her and she can work with me. So far, so good. So one of the common things that I found with all four of them, even the one that currently works for me, is that I don't know if anyone else would think this, but I know that a lot of Liberian, the house help, they clean around things, but they don't do the deep cleaning. Like there will be a vase or something on the floor, and they'll just mop around it and not say, this week, yeah, I'm doing deep cleaning, let me move this space. I don't expect you to move furniture, but at least move that. Another thing was with the second girl, Paulina or Anka, whichever one I called her, like I would tell her to move the cushions, clean the chair cushions, and she would clean that one chair cushion that I showed her, instead of saying, okay, she showed me this to do, so that means she want all the chair cushions clean. So she'll just do that one chair cushion underneath where there's crumbs or stuff. She'll clean that one. I come, did you do that one? Oh no, I didn't do that one. So I noticed that a common theme around them would be that they would clean around things. And another common theme was that everyone felt like if they weren't coming to work, that they didn't have to call or they didn't have to text or say anything, they just wouldn't come to work. The first girl was going to a wedding. She needed the week off because, like she said, she was busy. And then the second girl just would not show up and would do it several times without calling or texting or letting me know. So that was a common theme. I think that I'm no one's perfect, but I think I'm a good boss. I try to talk to people with kindness. I try to respect everyone regardless of your station in life. So this is not a video bashing anyone. I actually think that I'm one of the, I would say almost one of the best bosses that I've seen for myself, because I want to treat people the right way. So this is my story and I'm sticking to it. So if you have, I would love to hear anyone else's experience or anyone else's opinions. As long as you're respectful, drop it in the description, in the comment section. And I'm sweating now because I've been sitting outside, you know, big girl from abroad. So anyway, this is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you later.